Hello and welcome back to Cindy Guthrie Art and Photography. I'm Cindy and today we'll begin this tiny painting of spring dandelions in Ink and Wash Watercolor. I have a list of supplies that you'll need today in the description. Let's get started. This is the very first project in my Learn to Paint in 20 minutes or less a day series, and I'm glad you're here.
I'm going to set a timer for 20 minutes. Starting now. Okay. First thing we want to do is get our paper out and get it taped down. Now, if you'll notice today on the drawing that we're going to be using, this extends a little bit closer to the edge. So I want to be careful where I place my tape. I'm going to be mindful of that here as I place my tape. And this is probably taking me a smidge longer than it may take you because I'm trying to watch this on the camera as I do it. But I can get a piece of tape here. We just want to keep the paper down and steady. And we can put a piece of tape here and over here on this side. Now, first step that we want to accomplish today is going to be getting our image transferred onto our watercolor paper. I'm using 140-pound cold press, 100% cotton watercolor paper from Academy, Mead and Academy. So I'm holding this drawing up to the light so that I can see where it is. And then on the back of this, where the drawing is, I am going to go over this with a Prismacolor ebony pencil. Prismacolor ebony pencil. This is a graphite pencil, and it's a very, very soft pencil, so that this will transfer the drawing over, but this is easily erased so that it doesn't stay when we put the watercolor on it. We'll give it a little bit more to make sure that the entire area is covered. And if you're not sure, just hold it up to the light. You can see what you've missed. Okay, here's the back of my paper. Here's the front. Now, I'm going to line this up because if you print this, this drawing is linked in the description so that you can print a copy so that you don't have to worry about drawing this by hand. Line it up, and then we're going to tape it onto the surface so that this doesn't move. So we can flip this up, see if everything's transferring, flip it back down, it'll be in exactly the same place. Now you need a hard lead pencil to transfer the drawing. And now all we're going to do is we're going to trace. All right, let's check and see how this is looking. Okay, there's our image there. It's working fine. Now we're going to draw the stem, and just tracing the drawing is all I'm doing. I made this drawing earlier. And this is going to be a guide for the pen work that we'll do in just a few minutes. Now I'm getting the leaves put in, and I think that I want to put a couple of veins on these leaves here. And the stem for the bud. And the little leaves. I think these might be called sepal leaves for the bud. All right, checking where we are. Okay. Now you want to do a fairly good job tracing because you'll be using this as the basis for your ink drawing. How are we looking? Okay, it's looking okay. Now to start on the flower. It has a lot of tiny petals on the inside, and they get bigger as we go out, and you can just trace these over with a pencil. Then we will be tracing our drawing again with a micron pen. Okay, let's give it a check, make sure everything is transferring okay, looking good. This is the most tedious part of the entire process, is getting a drawing onto the paper that you can work with. But this drawing is available for download, so you don't have to do it yourself. Take what I've already done and work with it. Okay, let's check again. The good thing about drawing on top of this is you can see where you've made your pencil marks. Okay, I've missed a little bit right in here. Actually, it's part of this leaf that I missed. Okay. All right, that has it. Now, for the border, you want to get a ruler for this so your lines are nice and straight, and you just line it up together here. We're going to use the ruler again when we go over it with a pen, but we just want to make sure that everything is transferred. And this is the easiest way to do it, so we can look and see if everything is there. Okay, outline, drawing, there we go. Okay, Now we can pull this off, set it aside. And I'm going to get a 0.005 micron, and I want a 0.3 micron for the outer lines. So, starting with the 0.00 or 0.005, it's not 0.005, but it's very tiny. Now, I'm not sure how well this shows up. Let me try to zoom in on it. Make some adjustments here. Okay, now I'm going to put the drawing in, tracing the lines that I've just drawn. Now you can do this in any order that you want to. Catching a couple of the petals here. The rest of this leaf. Now I'm working on the petals. If you see anything that you've missed, you can make adjustments at this time. Now these little petals right here at the very top, they're very small. And they're somewhat curved. The other thing, on a dandelion, the petals are not rounded at the ends, they're somewhat square. So you can reflect that in the way that you draw your petals. And there's many, many layers of them. So they're coming out from underneath each other. And now I see a little spot right here that doesn't quite look right, so I'm going to go back to my reference here and see if I can show this at the same time. If you need it, you can go back and see what you need to add in if we've missed a line, which it looks like I have. Stick another petal in right there. Now we'll bring the stem down. Now this leaf that curves down. Now The edges on dandelion leaves are a little bit wavy. Pull this down just a little bit here. This is a leaf that's tucked up underneath. Okay, now for the fluff. Just make little bitty marks around here. And we have a central area here that all of the little seedlings come off of. And last but not least is the bud. We have a leaf coming over here. And this is the base of the bud. Now there are petals up here that are waiting to unfold, so we're going to have this kind of round and wrapped around, and then these are the sepals that are still folding up around the bud. Okay, now the internal drawing is complete. I'm getting the thicker micron, the 03. And we're going to fill in the lines. We want this to be a nice thick line, so I'm going to go over it 2 or 3 times there. All right, our initial drawing is complete. We're ready for next steps. We are at under 20 minutes. So this is a good place to stop for today. And then we can pick back up tomorrow if you only have a few minutes. If you have more time, then continue with me into part 2 for the painting. We'll see you soon.